Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India Live, India's voice to the world. I'm Tanvi Taneja, coming up in the next 30 minutes. Prime Minister Narendra Modi arrives in Israel, warmly received by Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and his wife Sarah Netanyahu at the airport. Donald Trump delivers the longest ever State of the Union address, talks of immigration, economy and Iran, asserts he had ushered in a golden age of America. And France appoints Christophe Leribaud as the head of the Louvre. The leadership change comes after a high-profile heist at the museum. So as Prime Minister Narendra Modi is on a two-day state visit to Israel, he received a vibrant and culturally rich welcome reception from the Indian diaspora upon his arrival in Jerusalem. This was after he received an official reception at the Ben Gurion airport. Hundreds of people of Indian origin gathered outside the iconic luxury hotel, waving Indian tricolours, holding portraits of the Prime Minister and displaying welcome placards. The atmosphere came alive with energetic folk dance performances, contemporary performances, blending classical and folk art forms that showcased India's vibrant heritage. Prime Minister Modi briefly interacted with these performers and the enthusiastic crowd present there, exchanging greetings and smiles before official engagements. The heartfelt, dance-filled reception highlighted the strong people-to-people bonds, complementing the deepening strategic partnership between the two countries. Prime Minister Narendra Modi arrived in Israel for a two-day state visit, marking his second trip to the country and a significant milestone in deepening the strategic partnership between India and Israel. Upon touchdown at the Ben Gurion International Airport near Tel Aviv, Prime Minister Modi was warmly received by Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and his wife, Sarah. The arrival ceremony featured a formal guard of honor presented by Israeli Defense Forces, underscoring the high-level protocol accorded to the visiting leader. The event included an official welcome reception with the two prime ministers exchanging greetings and participating in a brief tete-a-tete at the airport's Fatal Lounge shortly afterwards. And now let's take a further look at India-Israeli strategic partnership, which has strengthened over the years.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi is visiting Israel from February 25th to 26th. This will be Prime Minister's second official visit to the West Asian country. In Jerusalem, PM Modi will be the first Indian Prime Minister to address the Israeli parliament called Knesset.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji is visiting Israel on February 25th and 26th. It's a 2 days visit. This is a very historic visit. He came to, first time he came to Israel was in 2017, and that time he laid down the foundation of our relationship. And now we have reached a stage where we need to take it forward and start a new phase of our strategic relationship. During his visit, he will be having detailed discussions on bilateral issues and regional and global issues with the Prime Minister, Mr. Netanyahu. He will also be meeting the President, Mr. Herzog, and he will be addressing the Knesset, which is their parliament.
India and Israel are key defense and security partners. Between 2020 and 24, Israel supplied 13% of India's total arms imports, while India accounted for 34% of Israel's defense exports. An MOU was inked in 2025 to enable sharing of advanced tech and promote co-development and co-production of defense equipments. The two countries are strongly committed to combating terrorism in all its forms and manifestations. On the trade front, India ranks as Israel's second-largest Asian trading partner in merchandise. In financial year 24-25, bilateral trade was $3.75 billion. Israel is a key partner country in the India-led IMAC initiative. India and Israel also cooperate closely in areas of water and agriculture, focusing on water conservation, wastewater treatment. The two countries are fostering strong partnership in innovation and workforce mobilization, which serves as a practical economic pillar in their bilateral relations.
The best thing about India and Israel are that we don't compete with each other, rather we complement each other, and we complement in our core strengths. Israel's core strength is in science and technology, innovation, critical and emerging technologies, be it AI, be it cybersecurity, quantum. And similarly, our core strength is huge, a kind of engineers, skilled manpower, and there's an ecosystem in India where we can scale it up in sense. So the idea during this visit will be how we can combine these two ecosystems so that both the countries can benefit out of it.
Earlier, Prime Minister Modi highlighted the deep and enduring friendship between India and Israel, highlighting trust, innovation, and shared commitment to peace and progress that define the bilateral ties. Behind me, you can see the old city of Jerusalem. The civilizational ties between India and Israel date back to over 2 millennia. As Prime Minister Narendra Modi visits Israel, expectations are high that the modern strategic partnership will be taken forward in diverse domains. With camera person Anand Kumar, Shubhendu Ghosh for DD India in Jerusalem.
And earlier, our correspondent also caught up with some young Israeli students who said they're excited about this visit of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. They hope the relationship between India and Israel will create job opportunities, scientific research opportunities in both the nations. The civilizational relations between the two countries date back to more than 2 millennia. India has welcomed Jews for several centuries, and their contribution in turn has enriched Indian culture. People-to-people relations are an important part of that relationship. There are over 42,000 Indian citizens in Israel, primarily caregivers, as well as construction and agriculture sectors, diamond traders, IT professionals and students. There are approximately 1,000 Indian students in Israel, mainly doing doctoral and postdoctoral studies in STEM areas. There are over 100,000 Jews of Indian origin in Israel who are Israeli passport holders. The National Convention of Indian Origin Jews, the embassy, facilitates the National Convention of Indian Jews in Israel. The annual event brings together around 5,000 Indian origin Jews in Israel. US President Donald Trump delivered the longest State of the Union address in American history on Tuesday. Trump spoke on a number of issues in his around 1 hour and 48-minute address. Trump issued a fresh warning to Iran, saying he prefers to solve this issue through diplomacy. On the economic front, Trump claimed economic success, saying he had ushered in a golden age for America, while he also slammed Supreme Court's tariff ruling and called for the Congress to pass the Save America Act. US President Donald Trump's State of the Union address to a joint session of Congress comes against a backdrop of rising tensions with Iran. During the longest State of the Union address in history, Trump did not mention Iran until well over an hour into his speech. Trump accused Tehran of working to rebuild a nuclear program that was targeted by American strikes last year. Trump said his preference is to solve the problem through diplomacy.
My preference is to solve this problem through diplomacy. But one thing is certain, I will never allow the world's #1 sponsor of terror, which they are by far, to have a nuclear weapon. Can't let that happen.
In his 1 hour and 47-minute speech, Trump also touted his economic record that he had ushered in a golden age.
Today, our border is secure. Our spirit is restored. Inflation is plummeting. Incomes are rising fast. The roaring economy is roaring like never before. And our enemies are scared. Our military and police are stacked. And America is respected again, perhaps like never before.
Trump also slammed the Supreme Court's ruling that struck down his global tariffs. Trump said the Supreme Court ruling makes president's ability on tariffs more powerful.
And then just 4 days ago, an unfortunate ruling from the United States Supreme Court. It just came down. It came down. Very unfortunate ruling. But the good news is that almost all countries and corporations want to keep the deal that they already made.
President Donald Trump also urged the Congress to back what he described common sense legislation requiring voters to have proof of US citizenship in the November midterm elections. Virginia Governor Abigail Spanberger delivered the Democrats' response to President Donald Trump's State of the Union address, slamming the US president's policies.
In his speech tonight, the president did what he always does. He lied, he scapegoated, and he distracted. And he offered no real solutions to our nation's pressing challenges, so many of which he is actively making worse.
During his State of the Union address, Trump also welcomed the US men's ice hockey team following their Olympic gold medal victory. The United States ended a nearly half-century wait for Olympic men's ice hockey gold with a 2-1 overtime victory against Canada in a thrilling final on Sunday. Trump declared the team's goaltender, Connor Hellebuck, would receive the Presidential Medal of Freedom. Bureau Report, DD India.
You're watching DD India live, still to come on the show. Russia says it's committed to resolving the Ukraine conflict through diplomatic means. And Google disrupts Chinese-linked hackers that attacked 53 groups globally.
गर फिरदौस बर्रुएज़ ज़मीं است.
Welcome back. You're watching DD India Live. I am Tanvi Taneja. Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov said Russia remains committed to resolving the Ukraine crisis through political and diplomatic efforts. Meanwhile, Ukrainian President Zelensky said Ukraine seeks lasting peace, but any agreement must be accepted by its people. He has also said that Russia's claims about Ukraine's nuclear weapons are an attempt to pressure Kiev during peace talks. Ukraine's foreign ministry said that the country wants to end the conflict and restore peace, stressing that Ukrainians deserve clear, legally binding security guarantees. Ukrainian negotiators are expected to meet U.S. officials on Thursday to discuss post-war reconstruction, including a prosperity package. The UN General Assembly voiced support, meanwhile, for Ukraine on Tuesday on the 4th anniversary of the Russia-Ukraine conflict, with the United States among the countries abstaining from the vote. The Assembly passed a resolution saying it was committed to the sovereignty, independence, unity and territorial integrity of Ukraine within its internationally recognized borders. The resolution was passed by a tally of 107 countries in favor, 12 against and 51 abstentions from the 193-member Assembly. The resolution also called for an immediate unconditional ceasefire and comprehensive, lasting peace.
Parameters of peace in Ukraine are not a mystery. It must be in accordance with international law, including the UN Charter and relevant UN resolutions. And it must uphold the sovereignty, independence, and territorial integrity of Ukraine within its internationally recognized borders. Enough with the death, enough with the destruction, enough with the broken lives and shattered futures. It is time for an immediate, full, and unconditional ceasefire, the first step toward a just peace that saves lives and ends the endless suffering.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, in a social media post, expressed gratitude to the 107 nations that supported Ukraine's resolution at the UN General Assembly. This resolution called for a full ceasefire and the return of Ukrainian citizens. Zelensky highlighted that the resolution, which aims for lasting peace, was a crucial step and pledged to continue working with global partners to achieve peace. More from Europe, France has appointed Christophe Leribourg as the new head of the Louvre, replacing outgoing director Laurence Descartes. Government spokesperson Maud Brehon said that Leribourg, currently leading the Palace of Versailles, will focus on strengthening security and modernizing the museum following the October theft of jewels worth an estimated $102 million. The leadership change comes after President Emmanuel Macron accepted the resignation of outgoing director Laurent Descartes, who faced sharp criticism following an October jewelry heist. The India AI Impact Summit emerged as one of the most influential artificial intelligence gatherings in the world, bringing together global policymakers, AI pioneers, Fortune 500 CEOs, startup founders, research leaders. The summit positioned India at the center of international AI conversations.
The presence of top global tech leaders at the India AI Impact Summit signaled a growing confidence in India's AI ecosystem. From infrastructure commitments to ethical AI frameworks and cross-border collaborations, the summit became a powerful platform for shaping the future of artificial intelligence worldwide. Sundar Pichai, the CEO of Google and Alphabet, was one of the most prominent global leaders at the summit.
We are on the cusp of an era of hyper-progress and new discoveries, but the best outcomes are not guaranteed. We must work together to ensure the benefits of AI are available to everyone and everywhere. The US-India partnership has a critical role to play. Google is proud to serve as a connection point between them, both figuratively and literally. I believe India is going to have an extraordinary trajectory with AI, and we are supporting with a full stack commitment, including products, skilling, and infrastructure.
OpenAI CEO Sam Altman emphasized the need for responsible AI deployment while recognizing India's vast developer ecosystem as a driving force for global AI adoption.
If we are right, By the end of 2028, more of the world's intellectual capacity could reside inside of data centers than outside of them. This is an extraordinary statement to make. And of course, we could be wrong. But I think it really bears serious consideration. A superintelligence, at some point on its development curve, would be capable of doing a better job being the CEO of a major company than any executive, certainly me, or doing better research than our best scientists.
Global tech giants emphasize that emerging AI economies like India can play a crucial role in accelerating research breakthroughs and AI growth.
Prime Minister has a great vision. It's a great vision for both the country and for businesses as well.
I think there's an incredible opportunity for India across many different industries. I think the same way that India had leapfrog in mobile communication, mobile internet, that's the opportunity for AI, and we're very, very proud to play a small part into that.
The summit emerged as a pivotal moment in global AI development, attracting over $250 billion worth of infrastructure-linked investment commitments and strategic partnerships between Indian tech majors like HCL Tech, Tata Group and Reliance, and global tech firms like Qualcomm, Nvidia, Microsoft, OpenAI and chipmaker AMD, among others, positioning India as a dominant force in the AI revolution. Bureau Report, DD India.
Tech giant Google has said that it disrupted a Chinese-linked hacking group that breached at least 53 organizations across 42 countries. The tech giant said that the group was a vast surveillance apparatus used to spy on people and organizations throughout the world. Google and its partners terminated Google Cloud projects controlled by the hacking group, identified and disabled internet infrastructure it was using, and disabled accounts the group used to access Google Sheets, which it used to carry out their targeting and data theft operations. And the Kolkata-Agartala international bus service via Dhaka has resumed after an 18-month suspension. The Agartala-Dhaka-Kolkata international bus service resumed regular operations on Tuesday through the Agartala-Akhoda integrated land port. The Royal Maitri service had been suspended due to political turmoil in Bangladesh that caused visa issues and a drop in passengers. With conditions stabilizing and visa services also resuming in Agartala, the key corridor is set to strengthen cross-border connectivity and travel between India and Bangladesh. So that's all for this edition of DD India Live. Do let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. Connect with us on our different social media handles at DD India Live. And for those on the go, you can always catch the latest news and updates on our DD India mobile app. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Tanvi Taneja from all of us here in New Delhi. Thank you for watching. Namaskar.